Hello, my dear students. Welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Joyful God. I am Jyothi Ganesh. I hope all of you are doing good. So, this is the continuation series of discussion of Union Budget 26-27. Prior to this, I have made two videos. One was regarding primary data points, where I have discussed important macroeconomics data points as estimated by the budget. And second video was regarding the first pillar of the budget, rather first Kartavya of the budget regarding growth, economic growth. Right? So, that video seems to be a bit longer, but make sure you watch every bit of it because I have not only stated the facts and the programs, but I have made all the efforts to explain the concepts included in the budget, in and out. Also, I have mentioned some data points or some concepts given in the economic survey regarding those topics. Right. So, before proceeding with the video, please kindly go back and watch those videos and come back because they are very crucial. Right. So, in this video, I am going to discuss the second pillar of the budget. Yeah, that is regarding aspirations. Right. So, second Kartavya of the budget talks about what the budget has in place to fulfill the aspirations of the youth. Yes, rightly so. It deals with upskilling the youth as well as creating employment opportunities for the youth. Right. In this regard, government or the finance minister has said in their budget, the government is able to uplift 250 million, that is 25 crore population out of poverty in last 10 years. And the reason she quoted was sustained reform-oriented efforts. Right? I would suggest you to not only mug up the data points and schemes, but also observe such technical words which will greatly help you to improve your vocabulary and it will make your answers qualitative. Right? Through sustained reform-oriented efforts, the government is able to uplift 25 crore people out of poverty. Right. So, again, talk about the second pillar, that is aspirations. Government is targeting emphasis on the service sector to upskill and create employment opportunities. Right. For last few years or last decade, we are saying, though Indian economy is growing, it is becoming a jobless growth. Right. That is why in the growth aspect of that is first pillar, we talked about employment-led growth, right? More focus was given employment-intensive industries or labor-intensive industries, especially textile industry. And the government is now identifying the employment opportunities in the service sector as well, right? So regarding that, government proposes to establish or set up a 3E committee. What is 3E? Education to employment and enterprise. Education to employment and enterprise. What is that? Before that, government is targeting to achieve 10% share of global services by 2047. Right? Currently, India captured 4.3% of global service market. Now we are targeting to capture 10% share of global service market by 2047. So that provides us enormous opportunities to upskill the youth and let them to capture the emerging service sector opportunities, right? So, this committee is mandated to identify such recommendations to help to reskill or upskill the youth so that they won't be displaced easily by the emerging technologies. Rather, they should be able to utilize the emerging technology and attain the job, right? That is the reason 3E committee has been recommended to be established. Next. So, when you talk about service sector professionals, this budget targets especially two sectors. One is healthcare sector and creative sector. So, we are going to discuss the programs regarding these two sectors. That is healthcare and wellness hubs, modernizing animal husbandry, strengthening education, programs related to the orange economy, heritage and cultural tourism, as well as professional sports. Right. Let us go through each and one of them. First one is health and wellness ecosystem. Right. In this, there is allied health professionals program, and there are programs related to Ayush, and there are programs related to care economy as well as sports. So what are they? Government proposes to create or upskill 1 lakh new allied health professionals in next 5 years. So, who are called allied health professionals? These health professionals are separate from doctors, dentists, as well as nurses. But who are they? They are trained or technically skilled in the department of radiology, diagnostics, right, wellness, therapeutics, optometry, rehabilitation, or post-care or post-treatment care, etc. Right. To achieve this, government has proposed to establish new allied health professional institutes as well as to upgrade the existing allied health professional institutes. Right. So it has selected 10 disciplines. You don't have to worry about all of them. Just know the just know some examples. That's all. Optometry, radiology, anesthesia, etc. Operation theatre technology, etc. Right. Second is caregiver initiatives. Government talks about caregiver ecosystem. Right. It is aiming to achieve or skill 1,50,000 caregivers. 1,50,000 caregivers. Right. They will be skilled with geriatric care and allied skills. What is geriatric care? Geriatric care relates to the care with respect to old age people, that is people above 65 years of age. And allied skills like yoga, wellness, and then operating the medical devices, etc. Right? All those areas, 1,50,000 people will be trained. So that training will happen under NSQF, National Skill Qualification Framework. It is constituted under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So what is NSQF? NSQF deals with providing certificates for those with respect to their skill set. Right? It is not through academics. It recognizes the prior learning. Recognition of prior learning. That means some person can be a cobbler or a carpenter or a potter or a goldsmith, etc. They might not be academically qualified or they might not own a degree or something. But still their skill set will be identified. So their skill set will be given with 1 to 10 rating. Right? So the rating will be there in the certificate. NSQF will identify them and recognize them by providing certificates. So these caregivers also will be certified by NSQF. Right. One important point regarding geriatric care, elderly population, that is population of above 65 years of age, are expected to increase from 153 million, that is 15 crore in 2023 to nearly 347 million by 2050. That is nearly 34 crore, which will constitute 20% of entire population of India. Right? We should be prepared well so that we have necessary skill set and professionals to take care of old age people. That's the data. That is why this care initiative talks about training people or training youth in the geriatric care. Right? That's about care initiative. That's about caregiver initiative. Right? Right. So, budget has proposals regarding Ayush sector or Ayush area. What is Ayush? Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. So, India has a dedicated Ayush ministry as well. The budget is proposed to set up 3 new All India Institutes of Ayurveda. Right? Currently, there are 2 Institutes of Ayurveda. One is located in Goa, other is located in New Delhi. So, government has proposed to increase it to 5. Right. Also, government has proposed. Right. So, this budget also proposes certain programs to improve the employment opportunities and skill set in the Ayush sector. What is Ayush? Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. Right. So, post-COVID, Ayurvedic treatment has recognized globally because allopathic medicines, they fail to provide necessary immunity. Right. That is why Ayush sector, Ayush treatments are getting more importance globally as well as domestically. So to strengthen this area, the budget has proposed to set up 3 new All India Institutes of Ayurveda. Currently there are 2. One is in Goa, other is in New Delhi. So this budget has proposed to set up 3 more. Right? Also, the budget proposes to upgrade certification ecosystem by modernizing Ayush pharmacies, by modernizing drug testing labs to meet higher international standards. So your Ayush medicines, Ayush pharmacies must get global recognition as well. We must have to capture the global medical market as well. For that, our Ayush pharmacies must compete with the international standards. Right. So this budget also proposes to modernize Ayush pharmacies as well as drug testing labs to meet international standards. So there are so many Ayurvedic drugs available in the market. We don't know whether they are following proper procedure or not. So government has to set up and make sure that the quality of the pharmacy is not compromised, especially when you have to compete with the global market. Right? And thirdly, government proposes to upgrade WHO Global Traditional Medicine Center. WHO Global Traditional Medicine Center is situated in Jamnagar of Gujarat. Right? This is the one and only traditional medicine center in the world. Right? So the budget proposes to upgrade, right, to make sure that it conducts evidence-based research and training, right, so that the institution is upgraded to provide evidence-based research and training for Ayush professionals. That is regarding Ayush sector. And also, budget provides vision for regional medical value tourism hubs. Government proposes to create 5 regional medical hubs. Dear students, medical tourism, right? Economic survey says in the year 2025, medical tourism was valued around $8.5 billion. Right? It is estimated to reach nearly $16.2 billion by 2030. So government sees enormous opportunities in the medical tourism sector, so that if the youth are rightly upskilled, they can able to encash these opportunities. So in this initiative, so in this regard, government proposes to create 5 regional medical hubs. So these medical hubs will have integrated healthcare complexes. Right? It includes treatment, education, and research. Right? These medical tourism hubs, these regional medical hubs will be built in integrated manner, so that they will include education, treatment, as well as research. They will also include Ayush and facilitation centers, because we are integrating both allopathy and Ayush medicines together in these medical hubs. Again, this will also provide enormous employment opportunities, both in the medical field, in the allied medical field, in the post-care, right, in the sector of caregiving. Right. So this budget provides vision for regional medical value tourism hubs. It proposes to establish 5 regional medical hubs. Right? So these medical hubs will be built as integrated healthcare complexes. So what will be integrated? It will include treatment, skilling or education, as well as research. Right? This include end-to-end patient care facilities, diagnostics, treatment, post-care facilities, rehabilitation centers, everything. So these hubs also include Ayush facilitation centers. So we are including Ayush treatment along with allopathic treatment as well. One important fact regarding medical tourism, economic survey says in 2025, the medical tourism value was estimated to be nearly $8.5 billion. By the year 2030, it is expected to reach nearly $16.2 billion. That is, it is going to be almost double. So hence, medical tourism provides a lot of employment opportunities for the youth. If they are rightly skilled, they can encash them. So regarding healthcare professionals, one more area is veterinary infrastructure. Right? Veterinarians or para-veterinarians, veterinary as well as para-veterinary staff. So budget proposes to upskill or create 20,000 new professionals in veterinary as well as para-veterinary sector. Right? For that, government proposes to provide loan-linked capital subsidies. Government proposes to provide loan-linked capital subsidies for what? For setting up veterinary and para-veterinary colleges, also to set up clinical services, also to provide breeding facilities. For all these infrastructure and training, government proposes to provide loan-linked capital subsidies. Right. Also, it provides for global institutional collaboration. The training education institutes, they will be allowed to collaborate with the global institutes to upgrade their standards in the veterinary care. Also, the budget talks about the veterinary care is very important, not only for creating healthcare professionals, because also our animal husbandry sector contributes 16% of farm income. Right? Animal husbandry contributes 16% of farm income. Right? That will be like additional non-farm income for the farmers to sustain. It's very important for the farmers to earn non-farm income. It supports any agricultural shocks. Right? So one thing you must notice is, what is loan-linked capital subsidy? You must understand all these concepts. Let us take an example. For example, if a machinery or an institute or any infrastructure costs 80 lakh, right? And the person goes to bank. Bank provides 80% of the loan, right? 80% of the investment as loan. That means around, let's say, 65 lakh. Right? So he has to pay premium as well as interest every month. Now what government does is, government will credit, let's say, some 10% of this or 20% of this, let's say some 13 lakh rupees. 20% of loan amount, government will credit to the loan account of the person who has taken the loan. Government will credit 20%. I'm just taking the percentages example. It may not be exactly 20%. Right? Government credits 20% of the loan amount to the loan account in the bank. It won't give directly to the person who has taken the loan. It won't even allow the bank to withdraw the money. It will be just there in the loan account. The banks are also not supposed to utilize this money for 3 years. For 3 years, what is the benefit? Now the bank treats this 13 lakh as the premium already paid by the loanee, right? Whoever has taken the debt. That means effectively the bank will charge interest for 65 minus 13, that is 52. So now to repay the loan, the premium is reduced and hence interest also will be reduced. Understood? So the person who has taken the loan will pay the interest for lesser premium because the bank treats 13 lakh out of the total loan has been already paid. Got it? But this money will still be there in the account, right, as a stagnant amount which cannot be utilized by the bank, neither is given directly to the debtor or the loanee for 3 years. So the government will monitor whether this person is paying premium and interest properly or EMI properly, or whether this institute or infrastructure he has built, it is working properly. Right? Once his performance is satisfied, after 3 years, this amount will be credited to the bank. Right? Now the same premium and interest will continue. So that's what about loan-linked capital subsidy. Understood? Right. That's about veterinary infrastructure. Government proposes creation of job opportunities in the education sector as well as in the creative economy sector. Budget proposes to create professionals in the orange economy. So, what is orange economy? Orange economy is a subsector of economy wherein which the economy is driven by creativity. Right? For example, animation sector, comics, visual effects, right? As well as intellectual property, product design. So all this comes under orange economy. So the budget says India requires at least 2 million professionals in the orange economy sector by 2030. The budget says we are relying on the global technology. The budget says we are becoming relied on the global workforce rather than domestic workforce. We are falling shortage of domestic creative workforce. So we need at least 2 million creative workforce by 2030. So that is why government proposes some programs. Firstly, it provides to establish 15,500 creative labs. Right? Next, government provides vision in creating professionals in orange economy. So what is orange economy? The economy which is driven by creativity. Right? For example, designs, animations, visual effects, as well as intellectual property. Right? All these comes under orange economy. Right? So the budget envisages more opportunities in the orange economy, and hence it proposes various programs to create more professionals in this sector. So what is orange economy? Orange economy is a subsector of economy which is driven by creativity. Right? For example, animation, comics, visual effects, intellectual property, product design, etc. Right? So, in brief, we call them as ABGC. That is animation, visual effects, gaming, as well as comics. You might have seen in a lot of discussions with the youth and students, Prime Minister Modi would be telling them that don't just play the games, try to build the games. Right? So that is the emerging sector. So budget also says that the Indian industries is becoming over-relied on the global skill set. Rather, we can develop our own skill set. Budget says India may require 2 million audio, visual effect, gaming, comics, that is ABGC professionals by 2030. Government proposes catch them young strategy. That means we will not wait for the students to graduate or come to the graduation levels, then opt for some skill training or creative training courses. Rather, we will establish creative labs in the schools and colleges itself. Government proposes to establish 15,000 creative labs in secondary schools, 500 creative labs in colleges. Right? Along with their academics, they must be trained to obtain the skill set with respect to creative sector, that is orange economy sector. Right? So this will be owned by Indian Institute of Creative Technology, Mumbai. IICT Mumbai would prepare the curriculum and would propose the standards for these creative labs that support ABGC talent. Now we'll move on to other sector, that is design sector. So what is design sector? Right. For example, let's say a product design. If you can see Ola scooter, how does it look? How it should look? Or any website interface. Or for example, it also talks about particularly, sustainable packaging. Right? So in all these sectors, we need design talents. So for this, the budget proposes to establish National Institute of Design in the eastern states, West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, etc. Right? In the challenge route, challenge route, right? The states have to put forward their proposals. Whichever the states comes up with better proposals like better land availability, better infrastructure facilities, etc., the project will be awarded to the particular state. There are already 7 NIDs in India. Right? So this NID is a new proposal. That's about workforce creation or creating professionals in orange economy. Right. Moving forward. Next. Bridging India's educational and scientific gaps. Right. Regarding educational services, the budget proposes leave, learn, work revolution. Right. Through establishing university townships. 5 new university townships. We have heard about industrial townships. So, what is this university township? Right. These townships are established near industrial corridors. Industrial corridors. That is because the skill set must match the demand of the industry, right? And these townships include research institutions, skill centers, as well as residential complexes. Research, skill, and reside. Got it? There will be 5 new townships, university townships. So, where they will be established? They will be established through challenge route. Again, state governments must compete, right, for funding by offering best land, connectivity, and partnerships. Partnerships means industry and academical partnerships. Whichever the states wins the competition or bid, they will be offered with establishing offer with funds for establishing 5 new university townships. Next thing is empowering women in the STEM. What is STEM? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics sector. Right. The budget says women face safety issues because STEM education requires them to stay longer for the purpose of research or laboratory purposes. Right. That is why the budget proposes to establish 1 girls' hostel per district. 1 girls' hostel per district. Right. Through viability gap funding. What is viability gap funding? Right. Government provides certain percentage of the investment capital for those projects which are not commercially viable but economically important and socially important. Viability gap funding, that means if government decides to give 20% of the capital, that will be given as a grant. Right? The organizations need not have to return it. But why government will give VGF? Right? It will give VGF for those sectors which are commercially non-viable because they won't give proper returns. Rather, they're economically viable. Economically means they will generate employment. Indirectly, they'll contribute to the economics as well as they're socially important. Those projects which are economically and socially important but not commercially viable, government provides VGF. So, through VGF mode, government proposes to establish 1 girls hostel per district. This VGF is nothing but public-private partnership, nothing else. It is one mode of PPP. If the private participants are reluctant, government tells them that it's okay. You don't have to, invest entire money. Let me also join hands with you. I will give some portion of it. You don't have to return it. Just make sure you, establish the institution and operate properly. That's about education. Next. Curiously, government pulls up an interesting sector to create employment opportunities as well as tourism experiences and research and development. That is astrophysics. Government proposes to establish and upgrade certain astrophysical establishments for the purpose of providing immersive experience. Immersive experiences or rather immersive learning, right? For educationists as well as researchers, rather than reading theoretically through textbooks, it tries to provide immersive experiences so that they can read and learn visually. So for that, the budget proposes to establish National Large Solar Telescope and National Large Optical Infrared Telescope. It also proposes to upgrade Himalayan Chandra Telescope and also to establish Cosmos 2 LED Planetarium. Right? Not only immerse experience learning, but also through these programs, government promotes astrotourism. So what is astrophysics? Astrophysics deals with studying things which are beyond Earth's atmosphere. It can be meteorites, it can be planets, it can be stars, it can be galaxies, or evolution of star, etc. Right. So let's look at some information regarding these telescopes. First thing is National Large Solar Telescope, NLST. That's a new telescope that is proposed to be established in this budget. It is a 2 meter large, right? And it will be established in Merak region of Ladakh. Merak region of Ladakh at the height of 4,200 meters above sea level. At this altitude in this region, right, it will be moisture-free atmosphere. It will be cloudless sky. It will be less light pollution, and hence it will be proper for this telescope to capture high-resolution images of sun's atmosphere, and also to study solar magnetism. Right? This NLST works as ground counterpart for our Aditya L1 satellite mission. Got it? So these are the facts about NLST. And these telescopes will be operated by Indian Institute of Astrophysics located in Bangalore. Right? In prelims, you may expect certain questions are regarding these telescopes. These are the fine details about NLST. And next is National Large Optical Infrared Telescope. Right? Rather, it is called NLOT. In the abbreviation, they have not taken the I. But it is National Large Optical Infrared Telescope. So it is larger than earlier one. It is 10 to 12 meter long. Right? It is located in Hanle region of Ladakh at the height of 4,500 meter. Again, this region provides clear sky, moisture-free atmosphere without any light pollution to provide better resolution images. And this telescope is meant for studying high sensitivity astronomical observations like galaxies, formation of stars, interstellar objects, etc. Got it? Just remember, this is located in Hanle of Ladakh. Again, this is also operated by Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Right. Himalayan Chandra Telescope. That is already existing one. Again, this is also meant for observing, minute or very sensitive astronomical observations. Interestingly, this is also located in Hanle of Ladakh. And next is Cosmos 2. What is Cosmos 2? You can see this image, right? Cosmos 2. Right? It is kind of a dome, right? With 8K resolution LED display. It provides immersive experiences to understand astronomical happenings, astronomical researches for students and research-oriented people. This is located in Amaravati, Andhra Pradesh. It's about Cosmos 2. There is a Cosmos 1 observatory as well. Where is it? Answer in the comment section. So, we just saw that Himalayan Chandra Telescope as well as Optical Infrared Telescope, both of them are located in Hanle region of Ladakh. What is special about this region? Hanle of Ladakh region is considered as dark sky reserve of India, wherein which we can observe clear skies without any light pollution, without any atmospheric disturbance for the research purposes. Right? Hanle, Ladakh is called Dark Sky Reserve of India. Question to you, there is also a Dark Sky Park in India. Which is that? Answer me in the comment section. Right? That's about telescopes and Hanley. Moving forward, economic survey says travel and tourism sector contributed nearly 5.22% of Indian GDP. And it also created nearly 9 crore jobs. Right? In financial year 24. Right. So it has also helped us earn $25 billion forex. So the budget sees tourism sector as enormous potential sector to create more employment. So for this, government proposes upskilling of 10,000 tourist guides in 20 recognized iconic sites by giving them 12 weeks of training in collaboration with an IAM, collaboration with an Indian Institute of Management. Government also proposes to establish National Institute of Hospitality, right, by upgrading existing infrastructure in National Council of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Noida. There is National Council of Hotel Management and Catering Technology in Noida. Right? Government proposes to upgrade the existing infrastructure to establish National Institute of Hospitality. Right. So government proposes to establish National Destination Digital Knowledge Grid. Basically, it's a digital grid, right? It's a digital space which includes documentation or information of various spiritual, cultural, historical sites in India. Right? This data will be helpful for the tourists as well as researchers as well as historians to do more analysis. Next, coming to cultural and heritage tourism. Right? Government proposes to transform 15 archaeological sites into cultural destinations by providing necessary tourist-related infrastructure. So, budget has named 7 out of 15 sites. So, which are the 7? Again, you may expect a question in prelims. The first is Lothal. Lothal, Indus Valley Civilization, right? Lothal, it is a port city. Indus Valley port city. Next, coming to Dholavira, again in Gujarat. Again, it is UNESCO World Heritage Harappan City. And Rakhigarhi. Rakhigarhi in Haryana, it is the largest Harappan city in Indian subcontinent. Largest Harappan city in the Indian subcontinent. Followed by we have Adi Channallur. It is ancient Iron Age burial site. Adi Channallur. Followed by Sarnath in UP, where Buddha gave his first sermon. And Hastinapur, known for Mahabharata, epic Mahabharata. And Leh Palace in Ladakh. Again, it is a 17th century palace. It is built by, you never know, it is built by, you can expect a question. Spelling is little bit difficult. Senne Namgyal. Sengenenemgyal. Senne Namgyal. Right? Ladakh palace, 17th century palace built by a king called Senne Namgyal. So these are 7 sites, noted in the budget out of 15 sites. So what government is planning to build? Government is planning to create public walkways so that they can take a tour in the site. Public walkways, especially in the archaeological sites related to excavations, Indus Valley excavations, right? And next, also government is planning to create modernized visitor experience infrastructure using latest technology like virtual reality, as well as establishing LED screens so that it can engage the tourists in a better way, and the stories can be told in a more experiential manner. Parallelly, government is also planning to train heritage professionals by training them in better storytelling skills and providing technological tools so that it can attract more and more tourists. That's about cultural and heritage tourism. Right. So along with medical tourism, cultural and heritage tourism, and government also proposes certain programs regarding sustainable ecotourism. Alright. Government proposes to provide world-class trekking and hiking experience in the mountain trails. World-class trekking and hiking experiences in the mountain regions, especially in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu Kashmir, as well as Eastern and Western Ghats. With respect to Eastern and Western Ghats, the budget mentions two places. You must know this. One is Araku Valley. In Andhra Pradesh. Second one is Podigai Malai, right? Podigai Malai in the Western Ghats in the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Some interesting points about Araku Valley. Araku Valley is called Ooty of Andhra Pradesh. Araku Valley is called Ooty of Andhra Pradesh. And also, it is famous for Bora caves. It is famous for Bora caves. Again, Bora caves are known for they're said to be 150 million years old. Bora caves are said to be 150 million years old, and they are known for oldest calcium deposits. Calcium deposits. You might have read about stalagmites and stalactites, right, in your geography. Those calcium deposits are found in Bora caves. What about Podigai Malai? Podigai Malai is said to be adobe of Agastya Muni. So government is proposing to develop world-class hiking infrastructure in these mountain regions. Right. Next. Government also proposes to establish coastal turtle trails as well as bird watching corridors, especially in the Pulicat Lake. I have discussed this in my first video. Kindly go back and watch it. Along with it, there is also Global Big Cat Summit being hosted by India in the current year. Right. So International Big Cat Alliance, IBCA, established in the leadership of India. Currently, there are 95 range countries. Don't worry which are those 95, because it's a huge number. You can hardly expect prelims to ask these countries, or it's difficult to remember those countries. Right. So IBCA. So what are these big cats? You may expect a question with respect to big cats. Which are they? There are 7 cats. Tiger, lion, jaguar, cheetah, puma, snow leopard as well as leopard. Right. You can also expect the questions regarding their IUCN status. Right. In all these, only tiger is endangered. And jaguar is near threatened, as well as puma is least concern. Apart from these 3, all of them are vulnerable. Alright, that's about IBCA. Again, this IBCA also provides ecotourism opportunities for India. Next. So, with respect to opportunities in the sports sector, there is also a Khelo India program introduced in 2017, which talks about identification of talent, creating necessary infrastructure. This mission is just the continuation of the previous program. So what does it do? It provides integrated talent development pathway, sports talent development pathway, right? Foundational training, intermediate training, elite level training, right? It provides training infrastructure so that the talent can be developed in a phased manner. right? Second thing is it provides human capital with respect to coaches and staffs. It provides human capital means it provides necessary training for coaches and staffs. It also provides integration of sports science and technology. That means technology-based training for both sport persons as well as staff and coaches. Right. Next, it also proposes to establish infrastructure and competition platforms. It also proposes to establish competitions and leagues so that more opportunities are created for the sports persons to improve their skills. As well as it proposes to build necessary infrastructure for training as well as competition. Again, this sports opportunity is going to bring in lot of employment and skilling opportunities for both sport persons as well as coaches and other training staff. Right. So that's about the second pillar of budget. That's about fulfilling the aspirations of youth. Hope all of you have enjoyed it. And also, along with this video, I have attached a few prelims related questions. You can take a look. You can try to answer them based on the discussion we had. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.